Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Barkley and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is your puppy's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and release on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Barkley's going to come home with his very own training equipment. Rich is going to teach you how to use that properly during your follow-up training session tomorrow. Now, Barkley is sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to be demonstrating is the heel. Heel is proper leash walking without dragging you down the street. And the command is Barkley, heel. Barkley, heel. Now, at this point, Barkley has a job to do, and that is to maintain pace with you when you're on a walk. If you turn, he should turn. If you speed up or slow down, he should do the same. He should always be mindful of where you are and not just taking off and leading you anywhere where he wants to go. And each time that you stop your walk, whether it's to cross traffic or talk to a neighbor, Barkley should be sitting nicely, waiting for his next command. And those sits are automatic. If he doesn't do it, you would say no sit. But he is doing it, and he's doing it very nicely. And you see him looking up at Rich, paying attention. We don't allow him to itch or do anything silly, because that tends to be him trying to distract you. Now, the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and it is a one-word command. Your long sit stay, you're going to start out at about 20 seconds, and you're going to work up about 5 seconds every day to 3 minutes. This helps to develop focus and self-control. When Rich returns back to him, he walks all the way around him. As an additional distraction, Barkley remains seated until he gets praised and he gets another command, and they take off heeling again. So this is going to make your walks pleasurable versus a drag. You're going to have fun with him walking, exploring new places, but always keeping him under control. And he's doing a great job of demonstrating that heel and automatic sit command. Now Rich leaves him again in another sit-stay. And make him hold it, and you can practice indoors as well as outdoors. This time Rich will call him. This is the come on command. It's Barkley, come, in a pleasant voice, and he should come and sit right in front of you facing your knees, and then he returns nicely back to heel and back sitting. Lots of praise motivation, but not too much, because if you overpraise, then he gets overstimulated, and then you have to get him back to doing his commands. And at some point, that's not going to be difficult for you, but in the beginning, we want you to be successful and gain confidence when you're training with him. Stay. Rich leaves him in another sit-stay. And again, your sit-stay is right in the house. Practice, practice, practice. So he learns to be more mindful of what he's doing and where you are and what you're expecting. And again, Rich is going to call him. He comes right in front and sits very nicely, and then he goes back to heel position and back sitting. So everything starts and stops at that heel position. So when he's in heel position, you have to give him a command. You have to tell him to heel, tell him to stay, tell him whatever you want him to do, because he's waiting for your direction, which is very important. Now, the next command that we're going to be demonstrating for you is your down from a heel position. So with your dog seated at your left, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word firm command to down and stay. The long down stay, he can hold even longer than the sit stay. So you're going to start out at about 1 minute, and you're going to work all the way up to 5 minutes. This again is an exercise that develops self-control. The fact that he can just be still. When Rich returns back to him, again, he walks all the way around him, just as he did on the sit stay, and Barkley should remain lying down until he gets his next command, and Rich tells him to heel again. He has come such a very, very long way. He started out being this dog that was snappy and intimidating and nervous, frightened, to this lovely little boy who's absolutely adorable and who is eager to please. Rich gives him another down command. He leaves him in a stay. He walks out to the end of his leash and he turns to face him. And with practice, you're going to be able to drop your leash, walk around, not in the first couple weeks. This time, Rich will call him out of that down. You can see how attentive Barkley is, looking at Rich, ready to do the next right thing. And then the next exercise that we're going to be demonstrating for you is your down from a distance. So your heeling is a little bit more difficult to practice indoors if you have a small space, but your sit stays and your down stays and your come all can be practiced indoors. Now Rich is going to leave him in a sit stay. He's going to turn to face him and put some distance between himself and the dog. He's going to use his right hand to give the command, and this is the down from a distance. You are again going to lengthen out your distance with that. So we have demonstrated for you your heeling, your automatic sits, your sit stay, your come, your down from a heel, and your down from a distance. These are the commands that you're going to be practicing with Barkley when he comes home. He's come such a long way, and we're so very proud of him, and we want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.